to Twisted Reviews. Today we're going to do an unboxing of this DS18 Pro setup. It's going to have a mid-range driver, I should say, and a 1-inch aluminum coil bullet tweeter. So basically I'm going to give you a little specs of the outside. It's a nice red and black flat box here. It's got a picture, give you a nice little picture there of the actual audio product inside. And on the back it has a nice little setup of what's inside. So I'm going to start with saying this is the PRO-X6.4BMK or PK pack, and I'll actually put a product link down below as well as a link for Big Jeff's Online. This is actually where all the products come from that I'm doing unboxings on, and I want to say thank him for that. If you would, go ahead and give it a second and drop a smash that like button and give us a subscribe, as well as go check out his online store. And if there's something at his online store you want to have a review on because you're not quite sure about, let him know you want me to do a review on it so you can actually see the product before you purchase. Now, without further ado, like I said, I'm going to read a little off the back here because on the it's a 6.5-inch mid-bass driver. It's going to have 250 watts RMS. It's going to have a frequency response of 106 hertz to 17K. And it's going to be able to, it does have the 1 watt 1 meter at 94 dBs. And it's got a 30-ounce Fahrenheit magnet. And that's pretty much going to be for the 6.5-inch mid-range. And then over on the other side, it gives you some details on the actual tweeter itself. The tweeter, both speakers are actually going to be 4 ohm. And the tweeter is going to be able to handle 60 watts. And at 1 watt 1 meter, it's going to be 103 decibels. Now, if you're curious, what does 1 watt 1 meter mean? It means that when these are actually hooked up, they're going to put 1 watt to the speaker and place it 1 meter away, and they're going to test it to see how much power, how much sound's coming out of it. So that gives you an idea as you're shopping around at different speakers. If they rate them 1 watt 1 meter, you can kind of see how loud the actual speaker is going to be. Now, once again, this is a pro audio type setup here, and what that means is it's going to be extremely loud, and it's going to be made to where it pushes sound long distances. So if you go to car shows or you're just showing it, off around your house, when you open the doors, not only will you hear it sitting in the vehicle, but you're going to hear it from 50, 75, 100 feet away. And of course, the more speakers you have, the farther away you're going to be able to hear it, and it'll be nice and clean. Now let's open it up. The one question I'm wondering is if there's any kind of crossover network in here, and we're going to find out. But we're going to start with the basic insides. You get the great sticker, DS18. We like it loud. Nice little sticker there. It's going to have a nice manual, and it goes over some of the dimensions as far as depth and mounting depth and how wide the hole needs to be. It also lets you see kind of where the peaks and valleys are on how you're going to tune it there. As I flip through this a little bit, it does the same thing for the tweeter. Shows you the frequency response, which is kind of nice. It gives you the parameters of the speaker so you can set up your crossover points. And on the back, it's pretty much more the power handling and how much it can, and what the frequency ranges are. Now, the tweeter is going to go from 3.5K to 20K, and that's going to be this nice little instruction manual there. Now, they actually give you a template to drill or cut the hole out correctly so that the speaker mounts in there, because a lot of times you're going to have to make something because it's going to have a deeper depth than your factory speaker, so you might have to make a trim ring or something like that to bring it out. Or a lot of times if your whole door panel are going to be speakers, you're going to fiberglass that out, so this will come in handy here. Now, for shipping purposes, you got a nice thick little piece of foam. Oh man, and it just goes right into the setup from there. Let me tilt that up. That's a pretty nice display. Matter of fact, if I had a shop and I was selling this, I might actually take that first piece of foam out and display these like that. It's nice and clean looking. Everything has these moisture barrier bags on them, which I've talked about before. I'm gonna open this up. Now, this is kind of unique here. They've painted the back side of the basket. Now, this is just a nice stamped basket here, but I'm going to show you how nice that looks. To where if you wanted to reverse mount them, or maybe you're mounting them in the trunk, but your trunk is going to open up and these are going to be seen. That's a really nice look there. Designed and engineered in the United States, and then they're manufactured elsewhere, but that's kind of a nice little thing. As far as that goes, it's got a nice paper cone. It looks like there's some sort of coating over it. It's not just a raw paper. And then you have a double foam surrounding here. Now, once again, these are Pro Audio speakers, and this coming out to a sharp point is going to help with sound imaging and direction. That's why it's in there. Sometimes they're removable where you can add the tweeter. This one is not, and it has the standard female plugs here, which you can actually buy from Big Jeff's online. So set that down and pull out one of these little tweeters here. All right, so you got the nice little titanium billet tweeter in there. Pretty nice look there. It does have a bass blocker on the back side. Nice little bass blocker there. Now this tweeter is a 1-inch tweeter as far as the insides, and it's going to be about, I'm going to say 3.5 inches from the outside without getting into the manual. It'll be able to, it actually says a little different than the outside of the box. It says it can handle 120 watts RMS and 240 watts peak. So that's a pretty nice bit of power there. Once again, we like it loud, designed and engineered in the US. Now with this speaker here, it can be mounted a couple of different ways. You can slide it through the hole that you cut, or you can actually mount it from the front side and maybe do like a beveled edge. As far as that goes, it's pretty nice. Now with the tweeters, when I install these, even though they have this bass blocker, I like to make sure that they go through some sort of crossover network to make sure they only get the frequency that they require. Otherwise, if you get any mid-range, like you're going to send to here, or mid-bass, or subwoofer frequencies, it's going to burn this up quite quickly, because it's only going to be able to produce the higher end range. So make sure you have your crossover network. It's very important as you're picking out amplifiers. But this is a really nice little set. You got, like I said, your mid-range driver here, and then your high-frequency speaker paired really nice together, not requiring an abundance amount of power, but pretty beefy as far as that goes. Together, you're looking at roughly 350 watts of continuous power needed, which will put you about the 700 watt range for peak power per channel. So you want to keep that in mind, because you got the other speakers here. So that's going to be per channel. This is going to be a loud setup. And once again, if you like the reviews, make sure you go over to Big Jeff's online and let them know you really appreciate the unboxings. Or go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. And we appreciate it. Until next time, we're out.